I recently learned that there were 2,600 billionaires in the world. And I asked myself an obvious question. Why aren't I one of them? I also learned that 56% of them are self-made, leaving 44% that inherited it. And that explains one of the reasons why I'm not a billionaire. I didn't inherit it. So what do I have to do in order to become a billionaire? Well, I dug a little deeper. 15% of all billionaires are currently in banking and finance, the hedge funds, the hedge fund managers. 9% are in real estate. That's very interesting. And I think they've built their real estate in high towers and apartment buildings and things of that nature. I know a billionaire here in Birmingham who owns a lot of hospitals all over the world. So real estate. Then another 9% are in tech business services. This is my area. This is where I think I can become a billionaire. What I'd like to do then is invite you on my journey. I have put together a plan as to how I'm going to become a billionaire. And I want to share it with you. And what I've decided I'm going to do is I'm going to put out a video. My plan is now every Tuesday on how I'm going to become a billionaire and what the journey is going to be. I want to invite you to come along on that journey. One of the reasons is I'm going to need some of your help. Okay? So this is going to be an interesting video. This is going to be an interesting series. If you'd like to be a part of it, if you'd like to learn with me as I move through my journey of becoming a billionaire, sign up at bestofusinvestors.com. And there you will be invited to come to our Discord. You'll give me your name and your email address, and I'll send you a link. And then in that Discord, you're going to find Becoming a Billionaire channel. And that's where we're going to talk personally, individually, on how this is going to happen. And maybe how you might get involved in it with me, or maybe how you can create your own journey. So while I'm gone, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and let's go on this journey to become a billionaire. There's no reason we shouldn't. Be right back.
Best of Us Investors presents Carrie Griegmeyer.
Okay, I've done some research on this, and I've gathered some bullet points that I think will help me, guide me to becoming a billionaire. And maybe you as well. The first one is start early, because it's going to probably take you at least 7 years. Well, I kind of missed that one. It's ideal if you're in your 20s or your early 30s, because it's going to take us 7 years to get to where we want to go. But I think I got 7 good years. And if you'll help me, maybe we can get it done a little bit faster. Constant education. This is something I've been beating this desk about for a long time. I'm constantly reading. I'm right now reading the Code Breaker about CRISPR. I don't think I'm qualified to make my $1 billion in the CRISPR era, so I'm going to have to search somewhere else. Work 80 to 100 hours a week. That's not a problem. I already do that. Many of my work hours, though, are done early in the morning when I wake up, and my roommate, my coach, helped me come up with ideas. My coach is the one who came up with this idea. My roommate in my head that basically says, you can do this. There's what did I tell you? There were 2,600 of them. Why aren't you one of them, Carrie? That's what my coach said. It's just because you haven't set a goal, built a plan, and gone after it. Build and grow your first business fast. I've done that. I've got this YouTube channel. I grew it quite fast. It gives me some credibility. It gives me some recognizability. I can write people letters and maybe they'll open them up. More possible than some other people. So I've worked on that. Leverage this success to meet influential people and create a mastermind. Well, you're one of those influential people. My Discord is where the mastermind, where you and I will work together to come up with the plan to build our business that is going to make us billionaires. Okay, so that step is done. Then build a new, innovative, disruptive business and leverage your last successes and then solve a problem. Okay, that's where I am right now. I've done the first steps. I understand the work that's going to have to go in. I'm okay with that. And now I've got to solve a problem. So that's where my coach said, okay, what is the problem? What is the problem? And what are the things that are changing that might give you an opportunity to build your business around solving this problem? Well, one of the problems that I'm recognizing that has evolved out of the technology that we have so far, and I'm speaking of that, of computers, of the World Wide Web, of internet, of social media, of online marketing. There's a problem there. And that problem has been faced. And if you'll remember last year, there were some people brought to Congress and questioned about you and I's privacy. You and I's privacy, and in particular, from Facebook, Google, and Amazon. All the data that they have collected over the years of our data, and then how they are using that data to make themselves multi-billionaires. And so we are, in fact, and I've seen this said quite often, you and I are the product. We are the product. They sell to advertisers, to merchandisers, our data, and then make millions off of it. There are two camps on this. Certainly, one of the camps is Congress. Also stepping into that camp is the CEO of Palantir, and that's Alec Karp. Also, oddly enough, the CEO of Apple, Tim Cook, is in this privacy camp, saying basically the Google, Facebook, and Amazon's use of this data is wrong, that it's our data. And the first time I heard this was when I read Amy Webb's book, The Big Nine. She goes into who are the people who owns the data, and we've gone over that before. And then how are they using the data? And then how is that data going to be, how is the ownership of that data going to be resolved for the best of everybody? Well, I think from my readings is you are going to end up owning your own data. How's that going to happen? Congress is going to pass legislation that says all those Google and Facebook and Amazon disclosures of 6 pages that you never read but checked that box off at the bottom are null and void, and that they need to enter into a new contract with you and I and the other 365 million people here in the United States as to how that data is going to be handled. What is going to happen, I believe, is you are going to receive a box, a virtual box, and in that box is going to be a number of different divisions, and each one of those divisions in that box is going to contain some form of data, such as your car is giving data. And it's through the GPS and all the systems in your car. There are, I believe it's 150 data sources in your car. That one of those sections within your box is going to be your automobile data. Another section is going to be your retail data. This is probably for a big part owned by people like Amazon and Google. They have tracked what you buy, what you like, what you don't like. Another section is going to be your entertainment data. Netflix owns a lot of that. Apple owns a lot of it. Google and Amazon own a lot of that. That has a value. Then there's this big section over here that is medical data. You don't have access to it. Google doesn't have access to it. But that's probably the most valuable data that you own. Right now, it's owned by your hospital, your doctor, your dentist, your therapist. Maybe you have an acupuncturist. All kinds of people that have that medical data. Maybe your drugstore. So where is that data now? It's sitting in their file cabinets, and they're not letting it go. And they're holding on to it because that game gives them control over you. That's got to change. That has to become your data because it's the most important data and it's the most critical data that you need to own. Because if you should go to climb Machu Picchu in Peru and you fall down the steps and you injure yourself, good luck. You better have one of those policies that fly your butt out of there, because without your medical data, the hospitals in Peru aren't going to be of any help to you. This could happen in New Mexico. If you're driving down the road and you get crashed and you're in the back of an ambulance going to a hospital, and they have no access to your data, they could give you some sort of drug for the injuries you had, and it killed you. If, on the other hand, you had a key that said, here, put this key or this code into your computer, and it will give you all my medical data. As you're in New Mexico going to Albuquerque in the hospital after you had an auto crash. This is a must happen. And this is your most valuable data. Eventually, you're going to have a smart home, and that is going to double, 2x the amount of data that they have gathered from you since 1992 or whenever they started. That is going to become extremely valuable data. So what does this all come down to? What's the business that I'm perceiving based on this? This is the business who's going to tell you and help you negotiate what these companies that have your data that you own, what you get paid for it. Now, how would that work? Well, it would work the same way that this YouTube video works. This is my YouTube video. I give it to YouTube, and YouTube sells advertising around it. I get 65% of that advertising dollar. Okay? So if Google does a search on me, which they did yesterday, I said into my phone, what is the cost of a flight from Atlanta, Georgia to Savannah, Georgia? What I'm contemplating is my granddaughter is graduating from Savannah, Georgia, in the end of May on the weekend, and I'm contemplating flying my grandson there to be a part of it. Nita and I will drive there. Well, within 3 hours, I was on my computer and an ad came up on Google that said, are you contemplating a trip to Savannah, Georgia? What happened there? They took the data that they got from me when I spoke into my phone, and they sold it. Should I not get part of that data? Should it be 25%? Should it be 65%? What should it be? It should be something. And someone needs to negotiate that on my behalf. Somebody who is smarter than me about you didn't know that I get 65% of the advertising revenue that they do on my YouTube channel. That's knowledge that I have. Okay? So that's what Google's accustomed to paying, but not you. No, remember that 6-page document that you read very carefully and then checked that little blue box on the bottom and you said, I accept? That's when you gave that up. What I'm saying is, I think you're going to get it back. And you're going to get this box of data. And you're going to have to decide what you're going to do with it. And you need a coach. Okay? Is this coming together for you? This is a whole new industry. Now, one of the other things that I learned in my research of how I was going to become a billionaire is you've got to have a big idea that impacts a lot of people. Well, we know there are 365 million people in the United States. That's a big number. If I can sell this service to them for $3 a month, and they're getting a check from Google, from Amazon, from all the apps that they have on because they are selling your data, what problem does that solve? Well, let's come back to where we're going. Remember autonomous automobiles? Do you know what the number one blue-collar job in the United States is? It's an over-the-road truck driver. Are they going to be out of work? Yeah. Probably within 10 years, that truck's going to be driven by somebody in Detroit, Michigan, while it's going down through Kansas City. We know that. How about taxi drivers? How about Uber drivers? How about all the workers that are going to be replaced by robots in factories? As I told you in my last video, I'm going to have a caregiver that's going to be a robot when I'm 96 years old. That's replacing a worker. Okay? So how are we going to support our society if they don't have jobs? Well, they just got a job, and we're going to show them how to do it. The company that we're going to build. Because, and you've heard about this, universal income. Well, how do you pay someone a universal income? You incentivize them to use their cell phone. You say, look, right now you're getting a check from Google for $50 a month for your data. If you used Google more often, your check would go up. Maybe you need to switch from Firefox to Google because Google's payout's better. How about that? So now the thing that Mark and Google Sundar are fearing becomes a positive for them. I have a good friend who doesn't have a cell phone. He doesn't have a computer. He ain't going to make any money because he doesn't have any data. See where this is going? This is going to happen. And there are consequences about me taking ownership of my data. If I don't have a coach, what am I going to do? I'm just going to check that first box that says I agree. And Google's and Facebook and Amazon are going to say, thank you very much. But if this is phenomenal. If I have talked to you and explained to you that this could become a digital income source for you, if you'll sign up with, I've even come up with a name for it. Where was it I put it there? Best of your data. Best of your data. That's the name of our company. Best of your data. Does that make sense to you? Is that a smoke dream? No, I didn't smoke anything this morning. I think this is something really big. Now, the crazy thing about it is, I'm only measuring it on 365 million people. The people in China are going to need this. The people in India are going to need this. The people in Europe are going to need this. Everyone's going to need this. Do you think best of your data won't be bought out for billions of dollars? Is this bigger than Instagram? Mark paid $3 billion for that after 18 months. These two guys were working in their garage. They digitized photographs. We are going to monetize our data. Okay, if you want to be a part of this, because I can't do this on my own, okay? Go to Best of Us Investors, okay? And come to our Discord. And you're going to have to sign up for this isn't going to be free. This is going to cost you $10 a month. But what I think you'll learn is, do you fit into Carrie's new business? Or can you learn there how to take your big idea and refine it and make your business? And maybe, just maybe, this isn't the business that we're going to go into, because I'm also very interested in NFTs, non-fungible tokens. That's another huge opportunity. FinTech, another huge opportunity. Remember I told you that the largest number of billionaires are in banking and finance. That's FinTech. That industry is going to change dramatically. Okay, that's my Tuesday video of come join me on my journey to become a billionaire. And why not? Why not? The opportunity's there. I think I read something like there is a new, where was it? A new billionaire every 36 hours. Well, why shouldn't it be you and me? Why shouldn't we be in the next? It won't happen in 36 hours. Trust me. It'll take us a few years. But again, for the people for our Instagram, it only took them 18 months. This is going to happen. Someone is going to achieve this. Trust me. Join me. Best of Us Investors. Damn, this is exciting.